Sam Bruce alongside Brett Kimmorley for footytips.com.au. Round 5 of the NRL. Brett, we kick it off with the annual Good Friday clash, the Rabbitohs and the Bulldogs at ANZ Stadium.
Yeah, it should be a great clash. The crowd should be enormous. You know, two sides have got quite a strong fan base, obviously Easter showtime and everything else. So I'd like to see a big crowd there at ANZ Stadium. Obviously for the Bulldogs, they get Tim Laffey returns and Josh Reynolds is back from sort of a 4 weeks with a broken arm. So they got out of jail last week, the Dogs. They got that exciting finish, the golden point finish. Moses Zembai, the star, sits as 18th man this week. But I think just that bit of confidence will give them a massive lift for the Dogs. They've been out of form. South Sydney still down on personnel. They got beat last week. They got out-muscled last week, and I think that's how the Dogs will approach it, and I think the Dogs will win this game.
Bunny's not as invincible as we all thought.
No, that's right. I think it's when you're the premiers, everyone wants to beat you. There's that expectations, you've got to play well every week, and they were just a little bit off in their own standards, and obviously Parramatta were brilliant against them last week, and they caught them out.
Following that, on Friday nights, the Titans and Broncos there at Robina Stadium on the Gold Coast. Titans, they got up and they're away for season 2015.
Yeah, the first win of the board. Obviously, and it was a gutsy win. You know, they sort of had chances to win it. James Roberts was the star in the end. Now, obviously, Greg Bird's come out this week and spoke about the dramas up there in the club, that they're sort of glad that they're allowed to play again and they're going to go forward and try and play extremely well. This will be a very tough and physical game of football. I think the Titans will try and bash Big Brother just an hour up the road and try and prove that they're the better football side. Brisbane have been travelling extremely well. I think week one they were poor and slowly they've turned their form around. They were very, very good against the Warriors last week. The Warriors made a game late, but I thought the Broncos were outstanding. Have got a few out. Alex Glenn is in super form, and I just think the Broncos just a little bit too much experience and will win a very close game.
On to Saturday, and the Seagulls down in Albury hosting the Raiders. Seems an obscure place for a rugby league game.
Yeah, AFL town. Probably could be a bit of aerial ping pong down there as well. Two sides that are really struggling. The Raiders have dropped star halfback Mitch Cornish. Obviously, he was the player that Ricky developed last year. I find it hard to think that you get beat convincingly by the Roosters and you think your halfback was at fault. So we'll give Sam Williams an opportunity, a local man that comes back in the side. Manly got injuries, got concerns, got dramas. They should be better than this. I can't see this game being over exciting. It'll probably be close, and I think Manly will just win just for being a bit gutsier.
We spoke about Manly the other week. Are the cracks really starting to appear now?
Well, they are, and obviously salary cap and player rosters been hurt there big time. They lost a few quality players last off-season. They've got some dramas this year. Personnel is down. They've got the two halfbacks going. It's going to be an extremely tough year, I think, for the Manly Football Club.
Tough days ahead there. The Knights and Dragons up there at Hunter Stadium on Saturday afternoon, playing for the Alex McKinnon Cup. A wonderful initiative by these two clubs.
Oh, great initiative. You know, obviously a former Dragon, and then was a Novocastrian and come from Newcastle originally. So it's a great initiative. I think there'll be another emotional day in Newcastle. Obviously Newcastle, the only unbeaten side in the competition this year. They've been going outstandingly well. Very physical. The two back rowers are defending extremely tough. Two centres. And I like the sort of free-flowing style of football they're playing. They're not just 5 hit-ups, kick to the corner, build pressure. I think with Jared Mullen's passing game, it looks like the shackles are off Newcastle and they're having a bit of fun again. The Dragons were good last week. They come out and were defensively a lot better. They've got back-to-back wins now, the Dragons, but I think Newcastle playing for the Cup, playing at home, motivation will get through and Newcastle just to win.
Standalone game on Sunday this week with the Roosters hosting the Sharks at Allianz Stadium. Geez, it looks a bloodbath, this one.
It does. Well, you know, the Sharks got them at the end of last year and the Roosters were leading like 28-0 in a game. But I can't see that happening again. I thought the Roosters were really good last week against the Raiders. I thought they played, they tried a few things they said in their football game. They were happy with what they saw from them. I know Blake Ferguson's out, but obviously Sean Kenny-Dowell just moves in the centres. Shows go on forever for the Roosters. So I think they're in good form, the Roosters. The more you lose the Sharks, they say you're closer to a win, but the more you lose also, the more doubt creeps in, the more frustration creeps in. There's been a number of changes again to the Sharks side. Bird will start at 5'8", Wade Graham back in the forward pack, and Valentine Holmes will start at fullback, which I think is a great move for the club, but I just think the Roosters will be too strong.
A big Easter Monday of footy kicks off for the Eels and Tigers out there at ANZ Stadium. Another great clash. I'm really looking forward to this one. That's
right, yeah, a bit of a battle for the West. Obviously two sides that, the Tigers were unlucky not to win against the Dogs last week. They led comfortably, and the Eels, they bashed the Rabbitohs last week. So you think this forward pack will be a very physical battle. Obviously, Aaron Woods is back in the side. Pat Richards is back inside. So that little bit of experience the Tigers probably lacked last week returns. The Eels, they just want to bash everyone. They just want to be that physical style of football. Brad Arthur has spoke about now they need to back that up consistently. So we'll see what happens on Monday. It'll be a physical game. I just think the Tigers will win a close one.
Storm and Warriors down there at Amy Park following that. A game that always seems the Warriors really put the pressure on the Storm. And how have you rated the Storm so far?
No, I think they've been wonderful, the Storm. I thought, again, they were unlucky not to win on Monday night. A Cowboys team desperate, and Jonathan Thurston rode on the back of that. Craig Bellamy has criticised the refereeing at the end of the game. He thought they were harshly dealt with. The Storm have got to struggle with a short turnaround. Obviously, they're coming out of the heat in North Queensland. A big week of recovery for them. The reason why the Warriors go great in this clash is because the Warriors can out-muscle them. You know, the Melbourne Storm rely on the wrestle, the tactics, the slow on the ruck down. Well, the Warriors are bigger than that. Let's see if the Warriors can get some consistency. If they can grind out a football match ever, they should be winning the competition. But again, last week, they got behind by a stack at half-time. They rallied late and made it a game against the Broncos. I think the Storm will win because rarely do they go back-to-back losses. They are at home, but I think this will be a cracking game.
Rounding out round 5, it's the Panthers and Cowboys out there at Pepper Stadium out at Penrith. Panthers, how are they travelling?
Well, they've been really good to start the season. I just think the Jamie Soward injury a few weeks ago, they just lose that composure in their attack and they lose that a bit of game management where Soward's kicking game is so wonderful for them. It builds pressure. Seguiaro wasn't at his best last week. He's got some dramas there. They've dropped a few players this week, made some big changes out there at Penrith, which was unusual for the coach, and he's normally a calmer sort of coach in that as well. So it'd be interesting what response they get from the players. Cowboys, that's the win they needed. The win against all wins. You know, they were gone against the Melbourne Storm. They win at home. Jonathan Thurston's excited. Now that'll give them that shot of confidence that they know they are a good football side. We knew at the start of the year they were expected to go better than they have. They've had a bad start, but I think they now go back-to-back and win away from home.
Okay, Brett, just running through your tips again for round 5.
Yeah, Friday night we'll go the Bulldogs into the Broncos. Saturday we'll go Manly Knights, and Sunday we'll have the Roosters as the side winner into Tigers, Storm and Cowboys round up Monday round 5 competition.
That's round 5. Brett Kimmorley, have a happy Easter.
Thanks, Sam.